Hello and welcome back to the Hopi Living in the City show. So we got some service here at Freeway Chevy. We got a maintenance one service package, oil change, tire rotation, and AC Delco fuel add and inspection. So that was $169.95. And then we did the brake system fluid exchange, brake fluid dot four. That total labor was 103.95 and the fluid was 55.99. And so for the oil change, the maintenance was broken down into the labor for 71.95, and then the parts, which included the cleaner for 30.98, a filter for 8.20, and the oil for 58.88 was $98. So I could have, if I had some time and a lift, I could have saved $175 ish, and that would have been 153.54 in labor, or yeah, in parts. So the overall total was 339.91. They said I needed an alignment and balance. However, I did get an alignment and balance up at Courtesy Chevrolet not too long ago, and they recommended that I get motor mounts. Left and right side engine mounts have excessive play in the mounts, recommended replacing. $2,177.80. They recommended an air filter, and they wanted to charge $74.95. Then they wanted $753.83 for my spark plugs and wires replacement. And then for my rear differential service is $195.95. Then they said I would be needing a 3-pack fuel system service every 30,000 miles. I think I got that one here the last time. They wanted $259.95 for that. Coolant flush, they wanted $179.95. And they wanted $79.95 to balance all 4 tires. And an alignment, they wanted $175. And I got those done not too long ago at Courtesy, so maybe they don't really share their maintenance or maintenance logs, but I thought GM as a whole kind of tracks and shares that information. So a little update on these vehicles right here, these little tiny vehicles, Chevy somethings with the California plates. So the guys told me that there is, I think, a company or one of the dealers over there in California sent those, and they're sending a whole bunch more. I forgot the total number, but they're EV vehicles and they all need to be serviced. Something, maybe battery exchange or something, but there's a ton of them. So yeah, I think I'm gonna get me some spark plugs and wires. I gotta figure out the best place to get those. I'm going to figure out the drain and refill of the rear differential fluids. I'm gonna get me an air filter, and that'll save me some money. Then I'll also review my records from the last rotate and alignment from Courtesy. But yeah, the brake one, I know I needed that. It was getting a little dark, and the rotors and pads we did with D over in Mesa. We bought all of the parts, and then he swapped them out for us. So I kind of wanted to get a haircut, but I'm also a little lazy to do that. It is 8:47 a.m. on Friday, and we are at 71 degrees Fahrenheit here in Phoenix. I could feel the difference on the tire pressure. They feel really like hard and bouncy. It sounds a little funny too, but I did need to get my tires balanced because or rotated because of the wear. Remember I had an issue with the place in Guadalupe where they didn't do the best rotate and balance. And so my tires were relatively new and they were also starting to wear unevenly. And that was kind of disappointing because I we purchased them from Sam's Club. It was a cash and carry. We didn't do their mounting and balance and disposal fee, all that jazz, which would have allowed us to have a warranty. So we basically don't have a warranty on these wheels just because of the cash and carry situation. But it was, I think we saved like 250 or something. That's just, I guess, the risk that you take. It's convenient, like say if something happens and they're a national chain, but you couldn't find one in Winslow. You couldn't find one. Let's see where else. There's one in Flag, a Sam's Club in Flag. But some people also use the discount tire chain, and we've used them in the past, and yeah, they're good, but they tack on a lot of fees as well for their installation, environmental disposal fee, mounting, and their warranties. It adds up to about like $300, and that's convenient because they have one in Flagstaff. If anything happens, they have a ton down here. They'll supposedly just swap them out if you have any issues. But for all four of our vehicles, we just did cash and carry. Three of them from Sam's Club and one from, no, it's actually five vehicles because for the D21, those were cash and carry from Discount Tire, and then I think all the rest were cash and carry from Sam's Club. Kind of, you take a hit when you get them because you're probably around like, geez, I think the for this truck it was like 850, and that was about a year and a half, 2 years ago maybe, for some Michelin's at Sam's Club, and I you have to have good tires because here in the valley when it gets really hot, the last thing you want to do is have a blowout on the freeway or somewhere while you're traveling. And it's just best to kind of, if you can, put some, like 20, $50 away somewhere throughout the year. And then when you're ready, just do some price comparisons. And then if you need to, just do a cash and carry and get them installed somewhere else where they can give you a good deal for installation and balancing and alignment. because some places they'll actually buy your tires, your old tires from you, like in these small mom and pop shops. If you have decent tires on there, decent threads or tread, however you want to call it, and you buy some new tires, they'll buy the ones from you. So sometimes you can even just do like a trade where you go in and you have your new tires that you want to mount, and you just tell them that, ask them if they would like to either barter or bargain or trade. And then one time, this place, they installed our new tires, and payment was giving them our old tires, because a lot of times they can resell them for like 20, 30 bucks when people are, in a bind. I remember when we used to purchase, repair, fix up, and resell vehicles from auctions. That's what we would do, because sometimes they don't come with the best tires, or their tires are all mixed and matched. We would go to these mom and pop places and see if they have decent deals for 4 used tires just to put on there and make it look better when you're ready to sell it. But I'm headed toward the West Valley because I like to go to that place on Indian School and 43rd for the car wash. They're relatively nice people. They do a great job, and you're in and out of there pretty quick. The missus gave me some cash this morning, so I may use that. Or but they take cards too, so you can um, ask for some cash back with your card when you're paying your wash fee. Because today we are taking a road trip. My youngest and I are we're going on a little adventure, an overnight adventure. Someplace we haven't been before. I think we may have driven through it when we're going to San Diego, but that's what's going on. So I'm gonna get a truck wash. I'm gonna get the interior washed, and then I need to go home and pack. And then we need to take our necessities, because the place I was reading on the check-in information that they don't have any televisions, no TVs in any rooms. So if you want to watch something, they recommend you bring something to stream on, which isn't, I mean, it's not a huge issue. And we'll probably just use our hotspots. Well, I'll use my hotspot because I don't really trust any public Wi Fi places. And so we'll bring you some footage of that. I haven't gone through the truck route in a while. I don't know if they're redoing that too. I doubt they are, but let's take a drive through the truck route just to see, just to be nosy, okay? Yeah, that's a nice setup right there. Look at that. I'd love to have something like that at home. It's a lot of money though. I was looking at a flyer from the Hopi Abandoned Mines program where they offer rentals for like those. You can, I think they have a dump truck, they have a backhoe, a skid steer. I'm not sure what else they have on the flyer. I'll try to get a copy of that and put it up somewhere for you guys, just so you can call and get some estimates. I think it would be one of the catches for that is you have to use their operators because of their insurance and liability policies, and so you have to pay. You can pay by hour or day or week, I think, and then you have to pay your diesel fuel. I think it's like $1 more than what you would get on open market. And then there was something in there that said you also have to pay their operators, and I think it was $18 or something. So I don't know if that's a one fee per rental or if it's an hourly fee that goes along with your rental. So if you're maybe paying $50 an hour for the skid steer, you also have to pay for the operator's hourly rate plus your gas, whatever you use. I think that would, but if they're charging you per hour for the rent, for the operator's salary, that means the operator's getting paid like double time, I think, right? And how much of that goes to the tribal facility? In a way, it's good that they offer that, because if you don't use them, you'd have to use a place in. There's a guy in Winslow. He has rents a skid steer. He has a dump trailer, and I think a tractor with a box scraper. But with him, you'd have to come in with your 3/4 ton plus an sufficient size heavy duty trailer, and then you rent it for a day, weekend, however much you want. And then with Flag Equipment and Rentals, they offer to bring the tractor out, drop it off, and pick it up. But that's an additional fee. I think one time I got a quote for a tractor with a box scraper, and they wanted, I think, 12 or 1500 a week for that. I don't think that included the delivery costs. So what we ended up doing was we went to our village and we requested some work, and they charge $40 an hour. That includes the operator, the fuel, and maintenance, I guess. And I think that's a really good deal, because the operator from our village has went to the heavy equipment school, I think, up in Kicking Horse. So he's really good at what he does, and he's efficient with his time, and he's done some good work for us. And I think that's probably the best deal around. The only thing that you have to consider with that particular arrangement is that they their hours are, regular business hours, and they don't have weekend availability or holidays, to the best of my knowledge. So that's the only downside. And it kind of applies to the local gravel place as well, because if you want to go haul some gravel, save your weekend warrior, you don't necessarily work out there, so you have to go on the weekends. Bidahochi and the Winslow Dyna Sand and Gravel, their Friday hours are limited. They close early. They're not open on weekends. Bidahochi's kind of similar. So you kind of have to either switch your schedule around to work on the weekend and then have the weekday off and go up there and do your stuff during the week, or you can work with the tribe. The tribe can also haul out, say if you, I think it was about 20 or 30 tons of gravel, you can get around maybe 600 something. And then the tribe, they can haul for you for a fee. I can't remember how much their fee is, but I think you can probably get a semi load of gravel delivered to Pawaka for around, I want to say 750 ish. I could get exact numbers and contact info if anybody needs that. But and then you can hire the village to spread your rock if you don't have a tractor or a skid steer. But yeah, that's something I think about sometimes when I was pricing tractors again the other day. I found one in Tucson. It's an old John Deere, but they weren't sure if the 3 point or the whatever you use for your attachments in the back was functional. So, and then I tried to look for some at the Richie Boys auction, but I kind of missed the boat on that one. I need to share that with you guys. The auction itself, they had some good deals on there, but eventually I got outbid on most of the things I was bidding on. For instance, they had some welders, small welders for like the person that's just now learning, a novice. They had some impact drills, like those hammer drills. Those were going starting at around like 50 or 80 bucks, but I got outbid on those. There's like three or four that I bid on of the welders. Those started around 50. I don't remember how much they went for at the end. And then I also bid on it was, I think, a Dodge crew cab, kind of like this one here on the side of the road. It had a lot of miles, but it was starting at like $350. That ended up selling for around, I want to say 1150. I think 290 something thousand miles. Had a decent body. And then they had scissor lifts, semis, semi trailers, box trucks, the semi trailer, different sizes, electric scooters. They had UTVs, just a number of things. And it's pretty simple to sign up. You don't have to jump through too many hoops. But I think I need to keep an eye on that. So now we're on 43rd and we got to go up to Indian School. They usually sell burritos over here too on the northwest corner of McDowell and 43rd. Maybe it's already too late. I don't see anybody there. But yeah, I'm not sure what time we're gonna leave. It's gonna take about 2 hours to get there. So, and then check-in time is after 3 p.m. So we want to go and explore. We want to look for some places to eat. There's some old. It's I believe it's an old mining town, and we got to make sure we can navigate the town and find our location for tomorrow, so we're not late or lost or anything. And then we'll probably come back maybe tomorrow afternoon ish. But the families in town, they came down last night. I think they're going to the state fair tomorrow morning or something like that. I was kind of under the impression that we were all going to go on Saturday evening, but I think that, well, the missus doesn't want to go, so I don't know about my youngest. And then we're also supposed to try to do a dinner on Saturday night. So I don't know. We gotta figure something out. So yeah, it's a little bit of a drive from home up here to this car wash, but I think altogether they do a lot better than the one that's closest to us. It's right there across JC Penney. And when my mom took hers there, the last two times they missed some areas and it wasn't the best experience. For instance, I think yesterday I was no day before yesterday I was getting her ride out of the garage and I noticed her windows were still all dirty. The back window, her mirrors, they had streaks and stuff. So I just got the Windex and I started cleaning those off. But yeah, just little things like that. Over here, they're a little better, in my opinion. And for the truck, I think it's only like $35 for their top, one of their top packages. And they'll do the whole inside. They'll do um, they'll vacuum, armor all. I just need to put my papers somewhere safe. Maybe I brought a little like a whole paper holder in the back. I'll put stuff in there. And then I'll put my glasses up here in this little pocket. But yeah, come over here if you get a chance. I should probably walk over here to O'Reilly's when I'm getting a car wash. That way I can get some air filters for the vehicles. Or I might just order on Amazon because the ones we got for the Jetta were, I think they were like $16 or something. And they came pretty quick. They fit really well. But I'll see. Okay, I should have brought some clothes and stuff for these zombies. Whoa, that car almost took off. This is the place right here. Got a bunch of debris on the road. These guys do a really good job. Whoa, look at, they have their details too. So we'll get probably the VIP